Hi everyone, welcome back to Bake Your Way Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make a granola pie crust. This is very good. I've only made it actually a few times. I discovered it just recently and just think it's phenomenal. I think that the graham cracker crust is overdone. I think this is a very interesting, unique recipe and it tastes delicious. So what I have here, just so we can get started, I've got 1.5 cups of granola. Now, in my case, I mean, all granola is a little different depending on what you put in it. This is the one I made and have posted up on YouTube, the homemade peanut butter, or almond butter granola, I should say. 1.5 cups for me was about 150 grams. It may be a little different for you. So I'm going to pour that in. We're looking for about 1.5 cups, as well as a teaspoon of sugar. You can use granulated, or I'm using demerara or organic cane juice, whatever you want to call it. And we're also going to need 80 grams or 1/3 cup of melted butter. And you're going to pour it over the top. Make sure you get all the butter that's here. Now, you should have a little more butter on hand, just in case you need more. Basically, you want this crust, you want all the granola to be moistened. You want it all moist. And there is plenty in my case. This is definitely enough. So, this is very good. So now the next step is to pour your pie crust into a pie plate, an 8-inch or not an 8-inch, sorry, a 9-inch pie plate. You could use a 9.5. In fact, I think this actually might be a 9.5, but a 9-inch would do. And you're just going to want to firmly pat this down. And this pie crust is a little different. You may be puzzled by the look of it right now. Think to yourself, it doesn't look very very full. What I'm going to be making is a little bit of a different tart. Now you can use this for most pie recipes. You can use this crust. And as you can see, you may be wondering to yourself why it's not going up the edges, and that is intentional. Not only am I using a little bit of a larger pie plate, so it's very low, but also I like a different kind of pie where it's not as pie crusty, to have the crusty bottom, kind of like a cheesecake. If you don't want to do that, what you could do is do 2 cups of granola or graham crackers or whatever you want to use. And then add the first 1/3 cup, 75 grams of butter, and basically you will need to adjust. You will need to add more, but that gives you kind of a baseline to go from. You never want to add too much butter to your pie crust. So what I would recommend you do is start with 1/3 cup and see if you need more. And if you do, you just add maybe a teaspoon or a tablespoon at a time, depending on what you need. So this is good enough for me. I know it looks quite different from a traditional pie crust, but I like to do things a little bit different than normal. In the oven, 350-degree oven for about anywhere between 8 to 12 minutes. You're looking for it to be to develop a bit of brownness, and you want it to set. The idea is you want it to set before you put whatever it is you're going to put on the pie crust. An important note, if you do this in the oven to set, you will need to let it sit. You will need to let it cool, because you can't put your filling in a hot pan like that. You want to let it cool, especially if it's a no-bake. And if there's eggs, you could risk cooking the eggs too much if you just automatically put your filling in right when it's out of the oven. So this is the pie crust, and if you stay tuned, I'm going to be posting a new video, a surprise video, of what I will be filling this with. Anyways, I hope this was very informative. This is my recipe for granola for a granola pie crust. It's very unique and different, but it's very delicious. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this. I will post a picture after of what it looks like when it's set after being in the oven for 8 to 12 minutes. I hope you enjoy this video, and I will see you next time.